I don't see a lot of people that look like me. Just, well, women in general in computer science is not as common. And so, yeah, especially minority women. That's actually one of the reasons why I chose going to IIT, because I knew that it was really diverse and hopefully I'd have more of an opportunity to meet and interact with people like me.
We have this pretty sobering statistic that 75% of particularly students of color who start a computer science program in one of our great universities, they don't actually finish the program. So you think about early career exposure, making tech exciting, interesting, tangible, etc. That's just really the promise of Strong Start.
And the whole P33 project is to try to make sure the students understand how they might fit in a career in computing or high tech. And we hate to have them wait till their second or third year when they're doing an internship for the first time to kind of learn that.
When students are given the opportunity to internship or thing, that's their first real look into the real world, right? And everybody doesn't get that opportunity. So a program like Strong Start does give the opportunity to bridge the gap from the classroom to the real world, which is what we're going to do.
I mean, the diverse population of these professionals coming in is great. They get to see themselves in that role. And we don't want to lose students just because they can't picture themselves doing it. Maybe they didn't come from, maybe the first generation going to college, or maybe their high school environment didn't prepare them for career choice.
So the P33 Tech Talent Alliance is obviously an incredible, group of companies, and the mission and the passion that they all have is there, and it's real, and it's pretty great. So I think being a part of the P33 Tech Talent Alliance gave us the opportunity to dovetail that into diving into something like Strong Start. And then we get to turn around and kind of talk about our experiences and share with other companies and truly start to build this culture from a corporation perspective working with P33.
And so there's this notion of, rather than having one company and one university figure out one thing, what if you got 50 plus companies figuring it out together with multiple universities, and how much more work you can get done?
To learn from other larger companies that have been, kind of playing in the diverse talent landscape, if you will, for many more years than we have. But, that was very valuable.
We're all busy with client work and this and that, but I know, at least for myself, this was, once a week, an hour period where you could break free from all that and really just, get engaged with some students that, love to learn, love to grow, and, want to improve their technology aptitude. So
coming up with the curriculum, I don't know that you have to be a professor to think about things that were useful for you to learn in your career, and just kind of talk to people about it.
So I think number one, the tools that P33 gave us in terms of templates and conversations about what has worked in the past and what they're trying to do, that first and foremost set us up and did about 60% of it, because we had context from P33 in terms of what good looks like, what they're kind of hoping and what the university is hoping to get out of it.
So we asked the students to look at the world that they're in and find a problem and come up with a technical solution.
My team specifically, the big thing that they're concerned about is student loans. So we really tried to work on a Twitter bot that's focused on educating people about deadlines for certain student loan opportunities, as well as information about student loans coming from different government organizations.
One that we heard really clear was understanding what food was available at the food courts, and knowing what the rating of the food, so whether they wanted to actually join there or not, and who was actually joining there.
We focus on the budget management tool. So we presented a problem to them that basically revolved around, how do you help someone budget their salary and their expenses effectively, right?
The role or the assignment we gave to the teams were RPA, robotic process automation. So you want to order a burrito or whatever your favorite meal is. There's a way to robotically set up a bot to order your Chipotle order rather than go through the process. You could automate it. It could take anywhere from 2 to 10 seconds rather than going through the process over and over. So that was the prime example we gave to the students, and we kind of let them run with it, and I set the standard for what we were looking for with the final presentation.
Definitely made it more engaging and fun, I guess, rather than like a straight lecture where the professor's just talking to you, or like the small projects where you're not really applying all of your knowledge into it.
I'll be able to put that on my resume, essentially, that I worked with this STEM company and all that it's done and what I learned from that, and that's actual experience. So I think that's the part that I appreciate the most.
I mean, the next time they go to an interview, they can talk about all these things we talked about, right? And they'll be, overqualified at that point.
I do think that bringing in a program like Strong Start and them feeling part of something bigger than just learning the syntax and different things that we do with programming made them want to make sure they were here. Made them come to class on Wednesdays. They wanted to make sure they didn't miss their team meeting because they felt they were doing something important. And so I think bringing Strong Start in definitely gave a motivation that I don't necessarily always give, with just my teaching as well.
Tech companies in the city, we have a responsibility to continue building what tech looks like in Chicago, which is a responsibility and an honor to be a part of that. So I would really encourage them to get involved, work with the folks at P33, work closely with professors, and it's not as heavy as a lift as it seems, and it has a great return on the investment.
Additionally, for us at Avant, it was so great to hear that they were able to create relationships within the company as well. So meeting with other mentors and working together as a group to kind of problem solve some ways that they didn't anticipate at first when they started. So working internally, like making those connections internally and getting to know more people in the company too was very valuable, especially for those, like I said, most of our mentors were remote. So a lot of them started during the pandemic. They haven't had the opportunity to really meet a lot of people within the company.
This is something that you're passionate about. It's something you're noodling on. It's something you're thinking about in your day-to-day work. Don't just do it on your own. Come join the movement. Come do it with others. The idea is, to me, this can be a collective, and we're really inviting anybody with that sense of mission and purpose to make tech accessible to so many to join us.
Don't be nervous, don't be afraid. You don't have to be a professor, you don't have to have a master's, you don't have to have a PhD. I think the students are receptive, the students are excited, the staff at the universities, and specifically Chicago State, are excited and motivated by this.
Our city being both diverse in just people, the thoughts, the backgrounds, where people are coming from, and our ability to connect that, be able to grow that emerging talent that is coming into the industry will actually change the world.